that's a great point. I think that what could have been done locally has been done, and now we just need other people to step up to the plate. So I think we've put in the resources, and I really appreciate that. I think that's a good start.
I think so, too. Thank you very much, Supervisor Maxwell, and thank you, Supervisor McGoldrick. And I'd like to thank all of you who have come here today, Mr. Middleton, Mr. Kearns, and Mr. McInerney. Thank you for being here with us, and all of you from the community. It's nice to see you. I will, as I mentioned earlier, we'll put together a meeting with representatives from our state elected officials, this Park Service, Rec and Park, Army, Caltrans, Presidio, the Transportation Authority, and the Presidio Restoration Advisory Board. If you think that there's anyone else who should be invited, please let me know. But I do also agree with the residents of the area. It is about time that we move this ball forward, figure out exactly where our problem is, find the money for it, and fix it. And so I would like to thank you for that. I will also be putting forward a resolution tomorrow at the full board that will essentially a resolution supporting the restoration mediation of the lake and the highway. Also a resolution that will talk about placing signs and perhaps cutting off access to the lake until this problem is resolved. That will have to come back for another committee hearing, so I don't want people to get too worried about that yet. That is still something that we'll be able to talk about, but I think it's an important step that the city takes to make sure that the residents know that this is an issue. I've been living in San Francisco my entire life, essentially. We go down to Mountain Lake all the time. My children love it down there, and yet even though I am the member of the Board of Supervisors, I didn't realize that this was an issue until fairly recently. I think it's important that the people who go down there and the residents of the community have an understanding of the significance of the issue, and that it's something that we're working on fixing, and perhaps something that they should be aware of and participatory in as well. So to all of you, thank you very much for being here, and I look forward to following through on this issue.
Just let me reiterate that I believe I heard that there was no real immediate threat to human health, and I think if there is, and if there isn't, I don't want to leave this hearing thinking that we have to wait for a resolution, but that from what we understand, there is not.
Well, there is, as Mr. Middleton says, there's not when you look at it, but once you start digging at the soil, there is. And so at the base of it, when you go into the park, I mean, into the lake for the animals that, you know, run and dig it up, or for the children who might be playing in the sand and digging up the sand, then you have a different issue than if it's someone who's gliding on the top of the water.
Oh, who does that?
I know. Okay. Exactly.
All right. Well,
thank you very much.
Okay. Supervisor McGoldrick.
Again, thank you, Supervisor Alioto-Pier, for the leadership on this. And I would also say that, and I know Mr. Shreve and his family there by marriage to his sister, the Kennedy family, certainly the people in the neighborhood who have been involved in this, and a very prominent member of the 100 block of 9th Avenue, who I see out there. I think if we all get our heads together, maybe we can help with some of the private sources. I know Supervisor Maxwell just mentioned a source, and I think we all have some. I wouldn't have to mention any right now, but I think we all know some of the folks who probably would gladly help out with the situation there. And again, in speaking the other day with Mr. Kern, the historic nature of the location may also be a place to go. Again, I think it's important to put together a team of folks who can actually go and find some money, some private sector money. Otherwise, this could go too long, right? And maybe matching grant types of things and all that. But anyway, good stuff. Thank you. Yeah, happy to. Thank you so much. The volunteers who have been going there, I know for years and years and years, doing things like bending over and breaking your backs, pulling out invasive species, and the place has been transformed the last 20 years. Incredible work. So anyway, thanks.
Thank you. All right.